Okay, so we're going to look at the essay about the increase in rubbish. Okay. Nowadays, the amount of rubbish has extremely increased, and there are a lot of controversial thoughts among people about the causative factors. What I'd like to say about this sentence, it would be much easier it would be much clearer and more readable if it was made more concise. So that's what I'm going to do now. Nowadays, the amount of rubbish has increased dramatically, and there is much controversy about the causes for this. Full stop. Okay, that would make the sentence much clearer. What you've done in the second part of your sentence is you've really added a lot of extra unnecessary words and made it more complicated and less clear. So try and aim to keep your sentences concise and clear. Okay. While some people believe that people produce more waste today because their population have become massively great, many of us think that the true reason could be that people have become accustomed to consuming more products than before. Okay, let's just change the beginning part. While some people believe that people produce more waste today because populations have grown, or you could say because of population growth. I prefer that because that's a collocation. So because of population growth, comma, and then the rest is fine. Many of us think that the true reason could be that people have become accustomed to consuming more products than before. That part is good. I believe that the improvement in industrial field, okay, I would say not that. So I believe that improvements in industry, you don't have to say industrial field, so the improvements in industry has contributed to the increase in rubbish produced by people. And instead of obviously, I would say clearly. It's just a more academic word. And clearly, the style of life, so you could say lifestyles, because that's the correct word. So and clearly lifestyles that people have nowadays, you've given me two reasons, so are the real reasons behind the increase in waste. Okay. Again, you could have made that sentence a bit more concise. So let's look at it again. I believe that improvements in industry has contributed to the increase in waste produced by people. You don't even have to say produced by people. I think that is a given, so you could delete that. And clearly lifestyles that people live nowadays are the real. Okay, that's fine. That's actually fine. Okay, good. All right. Recently, people can enjoy buying a lot of things at very cheap prices. So sometimes people purchase things without a real need. Good. Not good argument. Yes. Consider how the clothing industry, because you've specified which industry. So however, the clothing industry has recently improved, and people can purchase a lot of clothes at much lower prices than before. Okay, because you're making a comparison there, at much lower prices. Okay, therefore people can currently afford to purchase, you need an infinitive after the verb to afford, can afford to purchase a lot of things such as clothes, food and luxuries, and consequently their rubbish has become more. Okay, that's fine. Just one little point, you use the word a lot quite often, so remember to try and widen your lexical range, because you do get marks for that. But simply you could say, instead of a lot, you could say many. Okay. So try to avoid repeating the same words. Right, this consolidates the notion. Okay, I wouldn't use the word notion because in an essay you make an argument or a theory, so notion sounds more casual. So this, I would say, supports the argument, okay, that industrial, and I wouldn't say improvement, I would say advances, that's a better word. So industrial advances has clearly helped people to have more cheap products. Okay, so it's not more, to have cheaper products and produce more waste than usual. Okay. On the other hand, several people would argue that the increasing amount of rubbish could be caused because of the high population only. Oh, I wouldn't put only at the end. So could be caused due only to, or due only to the high population. Okay. Consider how crowded areas, especially in slums, are usually full of rubbish, and you need that, and that it is always hard for the governments to take care of and clean these places on a regular basis. Nevertheless, the new cities are usually easily cleaned because the population is lower and the houses are carefully organised and well distributed. I'm not totally convinced by this argument, I have to say, because cities can have very high populations. I mean, look at Mexico City, has 20 million people, and Shanghai, and other cities have very high populations. So I'm not really convinced of this argument. Just wanted to say that there. Okay, proving that the population is usually the main reason for having more rubbish, and the governments usually find it difficult to handle crowded places. Okay. In conclusion, poor people in the past couldn't afford their daily needs, but nowadays the consumption of poorer people has greatly increased. Full stop, don't have than before because it's unnecessary. It's already clear, okay? Has greatly increased, comma. And that could be only because of the increase in the industrial productivity of many countries. Again, you're using a lot. A lot is quite informal as well, so I wouldn't always use that word, okay? So the increase in industrial productivity of many countries. Finally, it is good to see some governments use recycling systems to get much benefit from their rubbish and improve their economy as well. I wouldn't say they get much benefit from rubbish, maybe some, to get some benefit from their rubbish and improve their economy as well. Okay, that's fine. Yes, you've given a clear argument. You've been consistent in your argument. You've supported it. I wasn't convinced by your discussion about cities as opposed to slums, because I think both of them can have high populations. But you have tried to support your argument, and that's good. So overall, well done. One thing I would say is try to be a little bit more concise in your sentences, and for example, particularly in your introduction, I felt you really needed to be more concise there. Okay, but well done.